Imagine living in a world where the ground beneath your feet, the very symbol of stability, suddenly turns into liquid. We've all felt the terrifying jolt of an earthquake, but today we are talking about a geological doomsday. What would actually happen if a magnitude 10 earthquake ripped through planet Earth? Welcome back. If you think you know what a disaster looks like, hold on to your seats, because we are about to cross the absolute threshold of nature's wrath. Let's dive straight into the hard, terrifying science. Right now, most people measure earthquakes using the moment magnitude scale, developed in 1977. To understand how insane a magnitude 10 is, we have to look back at history's biggest monsters. In May 1960, the Valdivia earthquake struck southern Chile. It registered at a staggering 9.5 on the scale, lasting for a full 10 minutes, buckling highways, and sending devastating tsunamis across the entire Pacific Ocean. Decades later, on December 26, 2004, the Indian Ocean earthquake, often called the Sumatra-Andaman earthquake, hit a monstrous 9.1 to 9.3, releasing energy equivalent to 23,000 atomic bombs and claiming over 230,000 lives across 14 countries. Then came March 11, 2011, when the Tohoku earthquake hit Japan at a 9.0 to 9.1 magnitude, moving parts of Honshu Island eastward and triggering the Fukushima nuclear disaster. Those historical nightmares were apocalyptic. But here is the math that keeps seismologists awake at night: the Richter and moment. Magnitude scales are logarithmic, not linear. Every single whole number increase on the scale represents roughly 32 times more energy released. A magnitude 7 is 32 times more powerful than a 6. An 8 is 32 times more powerful than a 7. When you do the math from a 9.5, the highest ever recorded, up to a hypothetical magnitude 10, the energy difference isn't just half a step. A magnitude 10 earthquake is roughly 16 times more powerful than the 1960 Valdivia earthquake. It would release energy equivalent to roughly 1 million Hiroshima-sized atomic bombs, or about 15,000 gigatons of TNT. It is an amount of energy that defies human comprehension. So, where could something this catastrophic even happen? According to geophysicists, a magnitude 10 cannot just happen anywhere. It requires a massive subduction zone where massive tectonic plates collide, plunge deep into the Earth's mantle, and lock together for centuries, building unimaginable pressure.
The prime candidate is the Pacific Ring of Fire, specifically megafaults like the Cascadia subduction zone or the Kuril-Kamchatka Trench. However, computer models and geological constraints suggest that Earth's tectonic plates are simply not large or continuous enough to store the sheer friction required for a 10.0 naturally. In fact, many scientists argue that a true magnitude 10 on Earth would likely require a catastrophic extraterrestrial impact, an asteroid striking the planet with enough force to crack the crust on a scale we've never witnessed. Let's pretend the impossible happens. The epicenter ignites in the Pacific. What does the world look like in the first 60 seconds? The ground doesn't just shake. It rolls like ocean waves. In the immediate vicinity, the sheer ground acceleration would exceed gravity itself. Buildings wouldn't just collapse. They would be violently unanchored and ripped upward from their foundations, throwing concrete, steel, and trees into the air like children's toys. The sound would be deafening, a low, terrifying subterranean roar akin to 1,000 jet engines screaming at once, mixed with the deafening snap of continental rock breaking apart. Within minutes, the secondary horrors begin. A quake of this magnitude would trigger massive sympathetic seismic activity, waking up dormant volcanoes thousands of miles away and setting off rolling aftershocks that would register as minor or major earthquakes globally. No city on Earth, no matter how advanced its earthquake-resistant architecture is, would escape structural failure. Bridges would snap, dams would shatter, and global communication grids would go completely dark. And then, the oceans rise. A mega-earthquake of this scale would displace trillions of tons of water instantly, unleashing mega-tsunamis hundreds of meters high. These walls of water would rush toward coastlines at jetliner speeds, completely wiping out coastal cities, reshaping geography, restructuring global shipping lanes, and plunging the global economy into a multi-trillion-dollar depression within hours. The comforting news? Based on current physics and plate tectonics, a natural magnitude 10 earthquake is virtually impossible on modern Earth. But science isn't just about what is likely. It's about exploring the absolute limits of our universe. If you woke up tomorrow and the ground began to roll, what is the very first thing you would grab? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Smash that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell if you want to explore more terrifying what-if scenarios with us. Stay curious, stay safe, and see you in the next video.